you ready to discover who you came here to be? Welcome to the Human Design and Astro Club podcast. Human Design is a system and a tool that is here to empower you and show you your greatest potential. Come learn with us and discover who you really are. Hi friends, Krystle here. New year and new you, and boy, do we have some new tools for you to help you transform your life into the one you have always dreamed of. We have some new ways for you to connect with us outside of the show. So we have a free guide on tips and tricks to honoring your strategy and authority. We also have a language manual to your true self to help you understand the key terms in human design and how to apply them to reading your human design chart and also to your life. And we are so happy to announce doors are now open for the Cosmic Community, which is a no commitment or 5-month commitment package to connecting with us over in our private Facebook group. You will have the chance to connect with Leah and myself each month with our premium episodes through our Program Plus monthly forecast. There's also weekly aura energy updates, weekly tarot card pulls connected to a human design gate, monthly market shares for fellow entrepreneurs to share their work, and exclusive bonus content you will not be getting anywhere else from us. Come join the Cosmic Community to understand how to utilize the transits to your advantage and have a safe space to learn, grow, and connect. And we also have our children's class called Nurture Your Child Through Their Design. And our most popular classes are our variable mini classes, which are bite-sized, self-paced audios and guidebooks on the first 2 transformations. And if you want to stay connected with some education and love from us, join our email list and check out our website, which you can find that and every offer I just discussed down below in the show notes. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you over on our next episode. Welcome to the Human Design and Astro Club podcast. I'm Krystle.
And I'm Leah.
And this is the podcast you've been waiting for. What was happening at the end there with
It's doing the wave.
I was like,
I felt like I had to do something different since we are very isolated to our chairs.
We are very isolated. What would be best if we just like popped up and was like,
oh, we should next time. We're having a full-on dance party next time.
I'll somehow trip and
New Moon Aquarius. We'll do one for New Moon Aquarius.
Yeah.
We'll have a full-on.
Somehow I'll fall flat on my face during that. We'll just have Leah leave it. Maybe missing some teeth.
We have to leave it because it's part of our life. It's
part of the
Crystle's line 3.
I feel like I've realized, because I also do enjoy watching other third lines, especially third line bodies, because all we're doing is like, oh, sorry, I'm bumping into nothing. Like how my little third line fell over air walking down the stairs today. What a freaking hot mess the kid was today.
He had a rough day.
Nothing happened. Just the transits.
He was tripping over the transits.
I mean, he had the program at the time that was transitioning to the next one. Both of them. The first one that was in at the time, like in his Sun and Earth, like design part, and then the other part, I mean, it was in a couple different other places. But yeah, he mostly crying today. But anyways, If you're new here, welcome. We're a podcast of a bunch of weirdos. I'm pretty sure you picked that up at the beginning. And all of you that are watching right now, we're on YouTube, by the way. Also, if you didn't know, pause the podcast and hop on over to YouTube and watch us razzle dazzle your screens.
Have a dance party with us.
Yeah, we like to have a little dance party at the beginning. Let us know if you like that. Do you like our dance party? Are you laughing at us? Are you laughing with us? What's happening? So, if you didn't know, and this is your first time catching this podcast, we come on here every week and we talk about the transits for the most part through the lens of human design, astrology, and tarot. There's definitely a thread that runs through every single time that we go through the week. It's like it just gives sense to the senseless. It really does. And we help give you guys direction. We're both defined hearts and G centers. I was really talking about my G center, but then I brought my heart into there because, you know, they are connected. But like we basically empower people to start living the life of their dreams. That's probably the nutshell version of what we do. We have a much bigger way to express this in our cosmic community that we just created recently. We're so excited for the people that are in there. We got a good group starting out. And I really love that. They have been inquisitive. They have been supporting each other. And we're having a really good time in there. And so if you're interested, I think, yeah, doors are still open right now.
Close on the 10th.
Yeah, they close on the 10th. You get the program plus, which is actually an expanded version of the program, which is what this is called. Every week we come on here and we do the program. It is guidance through the matrix. You know, like we live in this frequency, this quantum field that we can't see, but we are experiencing through the cosmos. And each day, each week, really each week, we get a new program because the sun and the earth, they switch gates. And so each week we get a new program to focus on. And so that's what we talk about in here. Excuse me. That's what we talk about in here in the weekly program. But the monthly forecast, the program plus, we go through the entire month and we give you good days to work, good days to rest, good days to gather, good days to launch things, good days to tell people to fuck off. You know, like we give you the 411 of the month, the major players of the month, how to work with them. And people have been really enjoying it. And on top of that, we were like, you know, let's take it to the next level, 2023, right? So we created a community. It's a private Facebook group. It's really easy to access. All you have to do is either pay for 1 month, which is $23.23, or a package buy four, get one free. And that's only $92.92. It's a really good deal because not only are you getting the program plus for the month, but you're getting an opportunity to be interacting with Leah and I together and then to a group. And we have discussions. We've been having discussions this last week on the Mercury gates that have been starting to come through since fucking Mercury's retrograde now for fucking fun. But Mars is about to go direct, so there is a little reprieve coming at the end of the week, but then we still do have the shadows. So, you know, it's really like I said in the program plus, it's really February that we start to feel like we're actually in 2023 and we start feeling forward movement. So we kind of help you like settle. Excuse me, my throat is like doing weird things right now. I don't know, maybe I'm taking some of your throat stuff. I noticed actually when I'm in the presence of someone sick and someone that has something throat going on, I start feeling it in my throat. There was somebody else that I was with a few weeks ago that they had some throat thing. And then all of a sudden, like 30 minutes later, I'm like, what? I never had anything. And I have a completely open throat. So I find that very fascinating. And I'd never noticed this. I would have just thought there was something weird. When you don't understand mechanics and auras, and even though like we are not near each other, this is the fucking internet, you're still feeling energetics of what's
Yeah.
going on with each other
Yeah.
energetically. So I did want to bring that up. It's just so interesting. But
Sorry.
anyways,
Sorry, I don't mean to transfer my sickness through the
I
internet
know.
too.
Who are you to do that? But anyways, so it's been a lot of really fun discussions that we've been
Yeah.
having in this group, and it's just the beginning for us. We are in the past, so it's only been a few days for us, but we are also putting out a yearly forecast for the month of January that you will only have access to in the Facebook group for the month of January. We will be archiving past months and also the yearly forecast to respect the people that purchased for that month, and to even more so respect the people that purchase packages that are remaining in the group, that you're only coming in for the month that you paid for. That's the way that we are doing it. So if you paid for a package, then you get everything for each month that you're there. If you only paid for 1 month, you only get the program plus for that month. You will have access to all the conversations we've been having, all the posts. There's a lot of people that are dropping like their specific gates for the planets that we're discussing. Like we were talking about Mercury gates, like asking, do you have any of these gates? Or for each week when we do the weekly aura updates, I'll drop the sun and the earth for that and then say, do you have it? And then we'll have a little discussion in the comments. It's actually been really fun, and it helps people understand, how is this happening personally to me on a day-to-day basis. And that's what we're here to help you connect the dots. So that's your seriously, my throat, I feel like I'm sick right now. I don't I don't know what's happening.
You're not supposed to. I think it's been really cool to like watch people have a lot of realizations. Like it's really
Yes.
brought up a lot of huge aha moments for people when they look at their chart, or we ask a question and a prompt, and then they look at their chart and then they come back in, and we have a lot of it's a lot of, I mean, we've only been in there 4 days now, 5 days, and there's a lot of really great discussion going on. So I really think that's going to be like the major thing to help people understand more. I don't know, even just about like human design gates and stuff in
Yeah.
general, because that's one of the hardest things to learn. And we don't really have access to that. I mean, you can get access to it on the internet, but there's not a lot of interaction that's happening. And I think that's what we're trying to help people do, is understand through interaction and experience. Like,
Yeah.
do you have that gate? What does it look like for you? What does it feel like?
It's
Do you
different
have
when
the
it's in a
opposite
different
end?
planet.
Yeah, what planets is it in? Do you have the full channel, like, or do you not have it at all? And how does this transit show up for you? So I think that's one of the big things that we're helping people understand.
Yeah. It's like not only are you understanding how this personally affects you, but you get to understand the full spectrum of humanity through this group. If you want to know what these gates, channels, and centers mean, how they correlate to planets, astrology, all of it, you're getting it in this group, and personalized. Because I'm like, drop that gate if you have it, and let's have a little discussion. How is this showing up for you? Do you need
Yeah.
a little guidance on connecting some dots? And so it's really that will remain so that people can scroll through and learn as they're in there. You'll be able to have months worth at some point in the near future, because we're going to
Yeah.
continue on with this. So that you'll always have access to. But each program plus the yearly forecast, you're not getting that after January. We're also going to be doing a party on the 22nd, and you're invited. You'll have till the 10th to join us. Then on the 22nd, Leah and I are going to go live in the group. That's one of the things that why we wanted to do this in Facebook, is so that we can go live with you guys and like connect a little bit more intimately. And so we're going to do a little party in there about gate 41, which is the first gate. I swear, I'm like sick right now. This is as soon as we get off here, I'm going to be better. I know it.
Sorry.
This is crazy though. I don't like, but we are connected on a level. I just didn't realize how deep it was. Um,
We're like 13 states apart. We're not even really that close at all. So this is funny. Funny to watch. Not funny for you
yeah,
because you can't
yeah.
speak,
I'm
but
glad you're have a laugh. Everybody on that's watching this now also have a good laugh. Me coughing my face off in between. Well, you might have to cut some of this
just
out.
a preface, I did say before we even got on here, I was like, if I start having a coughing fit, then I'll just mute myself or something. And now Krystle is doing it for me.
Yeah, I'll do it for you vocally.
I don't want you to though. You can leave it to me. I can do that.
It's fine. Here we are.
Here we are.
So, anyways, I forget what we're. Oh, so we're talking about gate 41,
841.
which is the beginning. This is what starts the human design new year. This starts in the root. This is really a pressure to initiate life.
Mm-hmm.
It's reaching for the solar plexus. It's wanting to feel. The 30 wants to feel. The 41's the pressure to feel that experience that's about to happen on the other side of that, but take it a step further. Then we go into the what's it called? The 36. I was like, what's the freaking gate? The 36. And it wants to go through the experience of that feeling, right? And then you rise up to that next to the 35 that says, I feel. And so in order to go through all of those, that feeling and then the experience of, and then to be able to express that experience that you just had, it has to initiate you. And that's what the 41 does, is it initiates you into the new year. It's a hunger, really. I have this gate, and Leah knows I'm always hungry. I'm not, I was just telling her that I'm like booked on so many things for the next 2 months. And then I'm like, but I feel like I could do more.
So true.
That's the 41.
Yeah.
It's never satisfied, really. But I know that I have an undefined root. Also, this really depends on, do you have the full channel? Do you have the 41? Do you have the 30? So for me, and because is that center open, undefined, or defined? And for me, it's undefined. So on this day, I've noticed, because I've been paying attention for the last few years, that I even knew what the human design new year was. And I'm just like, there is this momentum that starts to burn inside of me. And the 41's also a fantasy. And it's like almost like let you go on a ride for the year of where you could actually even go for that entire year. So we're going to be talking about that on the 22nd. Love to hear anyone that's in the group, if you have this gate or the full channel or the 30, because you will be impacted. The people that have these placements directly, the way that I see it is it either becomes an attractor for you if you only have a hanging gate of it, or it becomes a focus for you if you have, for example, like the full channel. So it's fun to watch. I love watching the transits. I could do it forever. It's my favorite pastime. I like to kind of like either I like to have like a little idea of what's going on and then just like go like somewhere, or even like scroll through the internet, and then I get to spot all of the little trends of what's happening there with that in the collective. So it's just, I really in love. I'm in love with the transits. I feel like, people might be like, I thought you said you were only showing up twice a week. Every day. Here I am. I could show up more. I've stopped myself a few times and is like, maybe share that tomorrow. But I'll constantly keep the conversation going. That's the thing. A generator that's passionate about something, we will keep the conversation in flow. So I'm hoping to continue to have that momentum. I can't say that I will show up every single day for like, however long this lasts, but
Yeah, I mean, there's always something to talk about, so
there's
it's not like
always
there's
something to
a
talk
lack
about.
of conversation to
There's not.
start. Yeah.
There's not. Like, and every day we have a different we like I said, I can't in the program plus, I'm like, there's a new aspect happening consistently all
Yeah.
day, every day. I'm like, I
Yep.
can't talk about all of them or else I would literally never stop talking, which I'm sure it sounds like
It'd be like a
that.
4 day.
33 days later, this is, I have switched computers because
Yeah. I ran
my.
out of memory. Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, it's also been a little rough. Like, we've just been a couple days now into Mercury retrograde, right?
Hmm.
Or a few days. And I'm not digging it. Not that I thought I was
Not
going,
digging it either.
not that I thought I was going to dig it. I'm like, this is it. These are like really the 2 weeks that it's like, put nothing on your calendar. I'm like, so jam pack my entire schedule is what she
Mm.
just told me to do.
Mm.
Challenge accepted. No, I only did that for a couple days. I have been trying to have a lot more space, and also as much as my mind wants to pressure me to like finish things, I can't.
Yeah.
Once you know with your mechanics, and then also in relation to the transits, you can really see it's like once you know, and you can't unknow.
Yeah. That's how it was for me this week. I was like fighting not getting sick from my entire family and everybody I know. And
Yeah.
then Tuesday, my body was like, you're not doing anything this week. Clear your schedule. We're gonna be sick. I was like, cool, cool. So luckily I was able to clear my schedule. Um, so I stayed home. I've been home all week and I left the house once today and my ankles started hurting. So I came back
Oh.
home and it was right when you said that gate 53 came in.
Oh, and that's like
The
literally telling you
standstill.
standstill.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
guess I'll go home and lay on the couch again because I couldn't do anything else.
Somebody else told me something right as that gate was coming in too. And
Yeah,
I found that to be, I forget what it was, but I found that to be interesting.
yeah,
I was like, shit, man.
yeah.
It's so exact that it's
It is.
scary. Like once you
It is. Yeah,
understand like exact times things are
yeah,
happening, or even if you don't remember, but then like you're like, that was so weird when blah 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 blah. And then you like scroll through to that time and you're like, fuck.
yeah. Well,
Like,
what else? What else happened today? Oh, we were updating our
oh my
podcast
gosh.
logo, and it went black.
It
The
black.
logo went black. So I don't know if anybody noticed today, the 5th, if anybody, because we're in the past, if anybody noticed, I don't know.
A
But for
swishing it out.
a good half an hour, our podcast photo was just a black square.
I was like,
And
this is life
we were
now.
like, oh my God, I spent probably 3 hours online with customer service for two different things today, not just our podcast thing, but for our email. And I'm like, what the heck? And then I was like, okay, Mercury, like you're being really funny today. Like you can just chill a little bit. Like I'm just trying to update a picture. It wasn't that bad. They said no. Mercury was like, mm-mm.
No, well, but then it's like, okay, fine. I guess I have to fucking surrender to this shit. It's
Yeah,
like I get angry at first,
yeah,
and then because you like, you can't, sometimes you can't stop the anger, especially
right.
with Mars retrograde right now. It's really
Yeah.
fucking me with being in my sixth house of work,
Mm-hmm.
retrograding in that. And then also I'm Scorpio in Mars, which was original ruler of Scorpio. And
Mm-hmm.
then Aries, also ruled by Mars, is my moon. So I've been getting fucked left, front, and center with, but I will share there was a beautiful moment that did happen for me, and I'm going to share that in the forecast when we get there in a second. But one thing before we get started, uh a little a little extra about the transits and how like sometimes it doesn't even matter. Like I don't remember every fucking transit. Like let's be real.
Right.
I wish I was that good, but at the same time, as an open head, I like that I can't remember every little thing all day, all the time,
Mm-hmm.
because then it allows me to experience it and then connect the dots. Because
Yeah.
so the other night, embarrassing moment, I'm going to share it with you guys because I love embarrassing myself. I mean, I'm a fucking open throat. So the other day, my core wound is I talk about this a lot because I think it's important. Is the 40.4, which is really rejection from community and feeling like I'm an outsider. It doesn't matter, even sometimes how included I might be. A lot of times I won't believe it, especially at the beginning. I was like, no, I don't get that. That's not what I get. I get the opposite. And so, one thing that I've been saying, one, is this is not my story anymore. I refuse. That's one of the things that I've been saying with Mars retrograde. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the forecast. But so, when exactly, this is creepy. This is okay. When exactly the 1949 was, it happened to just come into the transit through the moon. The 19 was in the 19.2, just at that exact time. Cause I looked right after this happened. I was like, shit, something's happening right now. And so at that exact time, I got this overwhelm of emotions and this feeling of disconnect because the 1949 is the beginning of community, right? And so I
Mm-hmm.
have the 40. So I had the 1949 going up, um, a gap in the 37, obviously, and then the 40. So there was space in between of that. I went in, excuse me, my throat again. So sorry. I went into my pantry and cried. I was like, this was like 10 something at night or something for me. I forget what time it was, or 9 something. I forget the exact time. It was not a time for me to be doing this. I don't
Mm,
do this. And like, I didn't want to like start crying in bed with my husband next to me. We're watching TV. I got this painful feeling that arose in me. And I was like, I'm going to go cry in the fucking pantry. And I was like, this isn't normal. And like, I'm like going through these like mental thoughts of times that I've felt this way. And then I was like, there's fucking something in the transits right now.
mm, mm-hmm.
And I picked up my phone, I scrolled, looked at it, and I was like, fuck. The 19 just fucking went into the fucking moon, connecting to the 49. And what is it in right now? Saturn? Um,
Saturn.
you got that definition right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, fuck, it's real. It's like sometimes I don't, as much as this is like what I do, obviously, I don't always want to even believe that it's this real. Like, it can't be
Yeah.
this real. This is too real for me to be this aligned to exactly what's happening. I'm
Yeah.
this sensitive to this. Not everybody is this sensitive to this. My husband, it does affect him. I see times like with the Mars and Mercury retrograde right now, he's also Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, right?
Yeah.
He's taken some hard hits, but he has no idea what he's taking. And I want to help people that are going through, random weird shit like that. They can't understand it. They're like random, like, he's also a defined heart, like where he just gets like fucking he's just getting like these angry fits with Mars retrograde in Gemini, you know? And so I'm just like, what if we knew? Like,
Yeah.
what if we all knew? What if we could work with them? So I'm going to talk to you guys a moment that I had with this Mars retrograde, and I used it during a new moon Sagittarius. I'll talk about that in a second, but this shit is so fucking real. Like, it's almost like I don't want it to be this real. Like, and it's almost like I know too much now at this point.
Yeah.
It's like shit.
It's
But
really crazy.
if you guys want to either know this much or even know anything, if you're like, shit, I don't know that much, that's okay. You don't have to know this much. And
Mm-mm.
honestly, sometimes I'm like, I wish I didn't.
Yeah, I wish I didn't know as much.
But honestly, life has been so much easier that I do. And that's the whole point why I do this now is because I want to make your life easier. So if you would like to make your life easier, whether that be through personal relationship, business, whatever, what have you, lifestyle. Okay. That's what we are. Lifestyle, human design. You want to take your life to the next level? Join the cosmic community. You have till the 10th. There's a link down below. All you have to do is pay. You'll get a link to the group, and then you just got to give us your email, and then you're in. That's it. And then you get access to everything. There's beautiful conversations happening. There's supportive people there. You've got us. You've got the program plus. You're getting the yearly forecast that will be gone, and this month's program plus at the end of this month out. You won't have access to it after that. And you're also getting a little party, and then all this bonus content that I can't stop putting out.
So much goodness.
So yeah. So let's go ahead and kick off the week. Let's see what's happening here. So we kick off the week where we left off last week. And that's at the end and the beginning. That kind of sounds like where we're at right now, right? We're at the end and the beginning. This is enlightenment and darkenment. We are focusing on where we want to go next, but it feels unclear with Mercury retrograde in Capricorn that's saying, hey, are those goals and ambitions that you aspire to become really yours? Is this what you want to do this next year? Is this how you want to climb up the ladder? And then we're focusing on those beginnings. We just had full moon Cancer, making this part of what I'm talking about here. Part of what we're releasing is these beginnings from new moon Cancer from 6 months ago. And so really we're at a time of closing out. You are still in this cycle right now on Monday. So just allow yourself to feel it. With the help of the emotional pressure that we're going to be having for a majority of this week, it's really asking us with Cancer and this emotional pressure, pushing us towards family and community and a reflection on that. Can you feel the deep feels and cry it out right now? I'm like, shit, I'm going to be crying a lot this next week. I also call this the crybaby channel. And good news for me, I'm having my first EMDR session during this emotional wave. So that will be fun. So expect a lot of crying on Human Design Diaries at the end of this month. And definitely go check out the last two if you haven't seen them on our YouTube channel. And just when you thought the channel The Thinker was out, it's fucking back. It's fucking back for the full week. To torture anyone that has an open head, to welcome in some more sleepless nights. Okay. So, and then we're getting this new focus for the rest of the week. On Wednesday, starts on Wednesday with inner mystery. What's it all about? Why am I thinking so much? Is probably going to be a question for you for this week, especially if you have an open or undefined head. We have Mercury still retrograde during this time. So there's this head pressure that's going to be forcing us to look at our past and asking us to get silent. Sometimes it's in the dead of night where you can have the most inspiration. Silence is like, I tell Leah whenever this comes in, I'm like, I'm up at 4 a.m. just thinking. I'm like, so great. So all next week, I'm not getting any sleep. Cool. And crying the whole time. This is going to be the week of my dreams. So anyways, sorry. So try to create some space as we are still in reflection and we're being grounded in what we are thinking about. So it's like, okay, thinking, and focusing on all these thoughts, but then we're actually wanting to talk about it. Okay. So it's about how can we express what we're thinking about? That's what the earth wants us. It wants us to hold space, hold that energy of how can I express this? How can you bring almost like these thoughts of pressure into form to express them. Okay. So that's what's going on mid and end of week. This is going to be a great week to journal, meditate, and create a lot of space. It's no coincidence that we have, shadows, Mars, of retrograde remnants there, and then all this head pressure, and then Mercury still retrograde. It's all part of the program. It's really wanting us at this point, because we're still like kind of closing out some stuff for 2022, not quite ready for 2023, that it's like, listen, slow the fuck down and really look out, expand outwards. Look up at that mountain, Capricorn is saying. Look up. Where do you actually want to go? Is that the mountain that you want to climb? So there's going to be all these random fucking thoughts running through your head. Doesn't matter if you're open, undefined, or defined. You're going to have some fucking thoughts happen. And if you're feeling any blocks with this, go outside. Go outside. Take some deep breaths. Watch nature. I feel like when you're able to kind of just like watch nature, it allows you to remember how connected you actually are, but you've forgotten. So create a lot of space this week. And so February isn't like actually going to be kind of a blip. So this is really going to be the last time before like things really start to take off, to really slow down. So Wednesday, I'm excited for this day. I'm like, thank the heavens, stars from above, whatever you want to go by. Okay. Mars goes direct. All right. The 12th, Mars is going direct. Okay. And this has been at the end of this retrograde, at the end of this review, has been a reflection on what we're good at. And I've been randomly thinking about it. I didn't even realize, oh shit, that's because of fucking Mars retrograde. I was like, wow, you really are good at the understanding the transits. I started just randomly telling myself, it's like, wow, you really are. Like, I always obviously knew, and we know things that we're good at, but for some reason, we're like, how can we actually make them more in the spotlight? I feel like that's what this Mars retrograde is like, where are the holes? Where are you blocking yourself? Where are you stopping yourself from not really standing in this place of where you are, where your genius is? Where's your fucking zone of genius? Okay. So we've had all of these reviews on almost and almost like the gas pedal down. This is what Mars retrograde has been feeling like. The gas pedal down, but the car is not moving. Right. And so it's been in reverse. And so what has it been in reverse on? And we'll go into this deeper in the cosmic community, but reverse on boundaries. That's what it started off with. It kicked off with a reverse and reflection on boundaries. If you noticed at the beginning of Mars retrograde, people were going private on their accounts. People were talking about boundaries a lot. I went through a blocking spree during this time. And then we then moved on to the retrograde, moved on to a review on the way we share our resources and the expression of that. And then we moved on the way we feel, the way we actually feel. And from what we just went on review before. So what we had just gone on review about these resources, what we had been gone on review of these boundaries, how are we now feeling was kind of like the middle place. And where a lot of people kind of went through some rocky moments was during that time. And now we're in, what are we good at? And so the way we have been looking inward at ourselves, and a lot of our self-worth comes up with Mars retrograde. I feel like, I know that can also be a Venus retrograde thing, but Mars is in the first, like, rules Aries in the first house of the me. So, and I think there's been a lot of, am I worthy to even do these things? Am I worthy to even share these things? Am I worthy to even feel these things? And the way we speak about ourselves, this has been, happening with the communication with Gemini. So the way we speak about this, the way we speak to ourselves, like the anger that's boiling inside about the way we feel about ourselves has been a reflection and in review. And maybe it needs to be rewritten. And something that I was constantly telling myself that I just kind of briefly talked about, something that I was constantly telling myself the beginning of this retrograde, which happened in October, at the end of October, is this is no longer my story. I refuse to believe you what I was seeing in my environment that didn't feel like me anymore. And this might be what you were experiencing too in a lot of ways. And so it was actually during new moon Sagittarius, was around the aspect of money was in review and the way directing those resources. And that was connecting to my gate of resources. So the other end. And that was the time that I planted a seed for the month and activated my grids that proclaimed making money is easy. That's what I said. Making money is easy. And throughout that period and now is when I have made the most money in my business in the shortest amount of time. It's kind of crazy. I was like, wow. I looked back at that today and I was like, wow, that actually happened. So it's using the energy of the transits. It allows you to actually tap into a realm, a timeline that you might not have had access to if you didn't know it was available. And so consider all of these places you've been. Like I said, we'll discuss more of this when it goes direct in the cosmic community on what it could mean for you personally. I really want to help people connect some personal dots in this community and what you've been reviewing, because we've all been reviewing something. Even if you don't have all the gates that we were traveling through, maybe astrologically it was hitting in through the transit of aspects of your chart and bumping into other planets potentially. What house was it in, retrograding in? Also, where is this in your natal chart? All of those are connected. And it's like when you can really see, okay, for me, Mars retrograding in my sixth house. I have Mars in Scorpio. There was just, and then like I connected to a lot of these places in my unconscious part of me. Like I could feel these physical aspects in my body, because it wanted to move. It wanted to help bring a new perspective on something that maybe I didn't quite understand. And we're not going to fully get the big picture of it until it moves forward. This is just a piece. Oh, maybe it's almost like, when like you forgot something, and let's say it was like, let's say, example, since we're in winter, I don't know, this came to me. Let's say you misplaced your gloves. You found one during the retrograde, but you don't find the other pair until we move direct. So that's kind of how this works. It's like you discover something that you didn't know was there, but you don't get the other side of it until it moves direct. So that's mostly what we're working on this week. Biggest aspect is definitely, Mars going direct. I think it's going to open up a lot for people, but it's really not going to be until Mercury goes direct with it and then goes through the shadow of that. So, like I said, February is when Jupiter in Aries is going to be your fucking calling card. You pick up that fucking stick and you start running. Like that's like everybody's jetpack. Find yours, start running in February. March also, like February is going to be a blur, but then March is going to like explode because that's when a lot of the transits are, the bigger aspects are going to start coming in, is in March. So we'll talk about that part in the yearly forecast. That's going to be a fun conversation. I'm looking forward. I'm like, please do not make this 5 hours long. Like you have to control yourself. Cause I'm like, how do I say all of this, in like an hour? So I'm still trying to, there's still downloads coming in with the yearly forecast and I'm trying to condense it, but I want to make this as practical as possible so that you can use it for your year. I know a lot of people found last year's practical. So, and you find the monthly ones and even the weekly ones practical. So I want to, that's always my goal. How practical can I make this? So that's what's happening.
Well, as usual, the cards are pretty on par. So for the tarot, I got the Ace of Wands, which is the second most powerful card in the whole tarot. The Sun is the first most powerful energetically. The Ace of Wands is the second most powerful. Basically, it's not really like initiation, but it's more of taking a ton of energy and using it to your advantage. I feel like that planetary wise could feel like the retrogrades. There's so much going on. There's a lot of energy moving around right now. On the cards, you can see there's some leaves that are falling away. Those are all of the things that are coming from this retrograde period. What's falling away right now? What needs to be removed from your life? What baggage are you carrying that's not yours to carry? How are you reviewing all of those different places that Krystle just talked about? Go back if you didn't hear it or if you need to hear it again, rewind and listen to those questions again. How are you seeing all of those different aspects of your life and reviewing that part, wherever it lands in your chart for you. And then it also is like a surge of energy forward. So once you've removed all of those limiting beliefs, once you've removed all of the gunk and all of the stuff that's not meant for you anymore, you get that surge of energy to move forward. On some cards, it'll show lightning bolts. And that is the power bursting from the removing of all of the old stuff and allowing you to kind of like free flow into like the next stage. So if you've been going back and forth about something, this could be a yes for you. This could be a yes card. And you could use it in this time in your life right now to kind of look at like what needs to go away so that it can make more space. You think about like when you clean off a counter, like I've been doing this a lot in my house, like all horizontal surfaces need to be cleaned. And once I remove all of the junk and all the clutter that's sitting there, I feel so much better because all that stagnant energy that's been sitting there, even if it's a corner of my counter, it still feels better for all of that stuff to be removed. And I didn't necessarily do anything. And this is weird because I had this conversation with my mom today. Like, you don't necessarily do anything that had like, it wasn't work that I was doing, but it helped clear up a lot of energy in that space in my mind. Like in your mind, it could be just like you need to rearrange something. Maybe there needs to be a new space in your house. So if you're finding that there's blocks somewhere, this could be a time for you to look at that.
I think that's also connected to Mercury in Capricorn and also relation to the Cancer full moon because Cancer rules the house. And with Capricorn, also, opposite end of Cancer, but also an earth sign. And and Mercury is always about review, right? And cleanup. Like, what do you need? And it's like basically right now at the beginning of the year with this whole, aspect coming into play here that it's saying like you got to clean up your house.
Mm-hmm.
And it like, even though we can't see energy, right? Or at least most of us can't. I can. When I close my eyes, I see these weird things. We're not going to go there. Anyways, we'll go to a weird place. But there's energy in stagnant stuffiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they say like go clean out your closet or where feng shui comes into order. And like making your bed every morning. Like I used to not make my bed when I was younger. And now that I am an adult and I make my bed every day, like it's like every time when I make my bed, like I just feel like my mind just feels in order.
Yeah.
It like when you can like put order in your space, in your environment, it's ordering yourself inwardly as well. So,
Yep. Absolutely.
yeah.
So anyway, ponder on those things. So for the Work Your Light deck, it chose me the Great Gathering. And it says it's all coming together. Intuitive hits and soul tribe. You're being called to let your intuition move you physically. You're being called to a group of souls who are weaving a web around the planet. And as you travel and share your creations, something is rethreaded. This card is This card is an acknowledgement that you are either being called to connect with others who are like you at a soul level, or that you already are. You are being called to gather groups of people, either by leading them or becoming part of a group that can support you and your soul's personal mission. You are part of a group of souls who agreed to be here at this time in history to heal yourself, your ancestral line, and the planet, to raise consciousness so that we can continue to call this magnificent place home for eras to come. One of many consciously choosing to devote your life to something greater than yourself. It's time to call in your tribe by sharing your soul's voice and letting yourself be seen. When you share what is real and true to you, and you share the medicine that you need most, those who are like you will gather around you. You are your tribe, and they are just like you. And just as you are longing and searching for them, they are longing and searching for you too. And there's actually an activation for this card. And it says, I choose now to let myself be seen. I am ready to call in my soul tribe and create a web of light all over the planet. Hey, cosmic community.
I was about to say, is that the cosmic community? I couldn't unmute fast enough. I was like, shit.
We're doing it. We're
what
here for you. That card is like confirmation that it's happening. And join us if you feel called. Whenever you feel called, if you do.
Whenever. If you have to wait till February, you're not ready, you have an emotional wave, then wait till February. It's you come in when you're ready. If you're ready. If you're not, if this is not for you, then don't. There's never any pressure. But just so you have all the facts, what's in for January will not be in for February. And the biggest thing is the yearly forecast that we're really only we're gifting to the January people first for starting with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited about this new venture, all these ventures that are coming. And
I feel like that's a very Aquarius age card too. Like it's a very 2023 card. Is like calling in your soul tribe, calling in your people on your fractal, like doing all the things to raise, your people up.
Yeah. We're going to need support where we're going.
Totally.
And so we're creating that now. We're just at the beginning. This is just the beginning for Leah and I, and for you guys that are at the foundation of our community. We are here for you. We appreciate you beyond. And we're excited. We just are. So we hope you have a good week, and we'll see you over on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Krystle and I are really here as defined hearts to provide value to you with our unique insights. If you have found any of this episode valuable to you, we ask that you share with a friend, tag us with a highlight on Instagram, and write us a review so we can reach more people. Human design and astrology are tools to guide us toward our transformation. You are a unique and beautiful being, and we encourage you to let that light inside of you shine bright. See you in the next episode, friends.